So one of the things that came up for me and a place to start in my mind is, oh, the places you'll go.
Oh, the
As you
places.
know, I have, you know this book?
Yes, yeah. I think two separate people gave me that same book for graduation, actually. Yeah.
So I have a lot of Dr. Seuss books because of young children. And this one for me is probably my third favorite, and it would be a much higher favorite for me, or couldn't go much higher than third, but it would be higher if it wasn't for one or two pages in particular.
Hmm.
Um, it's this part right here. So I'm going to read it to you. You can get so confused that you'll start in to race down a long wiggled road at a breaknecking pace and grind on for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, toward a most useless place, the waiting place. And then he goes on to list all these people waiting for different things, buses and trains and peoples and jobs and whatnot. But it's that phrase that gets me, the most useless place.
Hmm.
And there's so much about this book I like, but that's a line where if I could, I'd argue with Dr. Seuss and say, is it a useless place?
Hmm.
And I guess the concern I have with that is that I don't want to build in the thought or the expectation into myself or to my kids that waiting is inherently bad, and
Hmm.
therefore we need it now, right? Like, why should you have to wait? Why not have it now? Waiting is useless. And at least in my read of American culture, use or practicality is a key determinant in something's worth or value, right?
Right.
Like, if it has a use, then it has value. If it's perceived to be useless, then it has no value. Um, and so to me, what that's saying is that waiting has no value to it.
Hmm.
Um, and that's the part where I'd want to take issue.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he,
It's like, what is the value kind of our time, or like, do we always need to be productive in all of our time? Um,
right.
yeah, I think that's something I think about a lot of times is like, um, sometimes when I'm waiting for things, I feel like an anxiety of like, okay, like what is it that I can do now? Like either to make this go faster, or to prepare or something. And sometimes I feel like there's nothing more to do than to, or maybe I need to shift my attitude just to be trusting, trusting God, or trusting in that moment to be waiting, instead of feeling like that anxiety kick in of like, no, there's something that I like need to be doing. Or this moment is like not going as I am expecting it's supposed to go. Um, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think I feel that too, of like, I don't think waiting is necessarily like a useless thing. Um, yeah.
Yeah, like if you're waiting in line, that temptation to like pull out your phone and begin to do something, check an email, look at a social media feed, send a text. It's so, the urge is so powerful. At least for me, the urge is powerful to just
Right.
pull that out and try to somehow make use of that time rather than
Mm-hmm.
just being in that moment.